How you guys doing? My name is David Kennerson. I'm the president and owner of Be Better Than Yesterday LLC. I'm here with my good friend Maurice.
I'm Maurice Sutton. I'm the co-president or vice president of Be Better Than Yesterday.
So this brand, Be Better Than Yesterday, this is a brand that means it's something very special to myself and to Maurice. I started this brand back in college while I was still playing college football. It's something that helped me get through the dark times of playing football and everything like that. And also it led into different aspects of my life of teaching me and pushing me to be an entrepreneur and also just pushing me into getting into different avenues outside of the game of football. So that's what Be Better Than Yesterday. That's how it started. I chose the name Be Better Than Yesterday because I feel that everyone, we all have something that we can get better at. Like we're never perfect at something. Even when we feel like we have perfected it, there's still room to learn. There's still room to grow. So Be Better Than Yesterday is a motto that I carry for myself, and it tells me every day that I need to learn to get better. I need to figure out how can I grow as a person, as an individual, as a father, as an athlete. How can I grow in everyday life? So that's what Be Better Than Yesterday means. And we've started this podcast to bring you inspiration. We are looking to bring you guys different guests, different co-hosts and everything. We're looking to help inspire you guys get started on the different things that you want to do in your life. Maybe it's to start a podcast, maybe it's to start a business, maybe it's to go back to school. But the whole purpose of this podcast is to inspire you guys and to bring you guys inspiration on different things that you may not even know that you need, but you have it. So we hope that this podcast is a great resource that you guys can listen to, no matter whether if you're driving or working out, something that will inspire you to get through the day.
All right. So, David, how does it feel to be a author, a bit, and a business owner?
Um, how does it feel? It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to be a business owner. It's a lot of work to become an author. It takes a lot of dedication, time management. Time management is key because you have to properly plan your day out. What it is that you want to do, what it is that you feel like that needs to get done, and understanding the difference between being busy and being productive because those are two completely different things. And I think a lot of us we get those misconstrued because a lot of times we are doing something, we're doing something, but is it being productive? Is it getting us where we need to do? Is it the task that we're doing? Is it getting us closer to the end goal that we set? So being productive is doing everything knowing that it is getting us one step closer to what I want to get done. So being an author, writing, I had to take time out my day to sit down and write. Even when I didn't feel like doing it, I knew I wanted to write this book. And I wrote this book. The title of this book is called Fail Forward, as you guys can see right here. The title of the book is called Fail Forward. This is I wrote this book during COVID. So 2020. So that time we had all of us had a lot of free time. And I hope that you guys utilized that free time and made something out of it. So during that year of 2020, that was the year of entrepreneurship. We saw a lot of businesses coming up. We saw a lot of people saying the things that they wanted to do. We had the time to do it.
Yeah,
Right.
a lot of time at home and figure out stuff.
Yep.
So, where can people buy the book at?
So you can buy this book on the website www.icanbbty.com. Again, that's www.icanbbty.com. The title of the book is called Fail Forward. This is an interactive book, so the book is short read, but at the end of each chapter, you have sections where you can write how you felt about that chapter and ask you interactive questions, so you can go back and reflect on the things that you read in the chapter. And the whole premises behind the book is teaching us that failure is never the end; it is just a crossroad. So when we feel that we have failed at something, is it truly the end? Did we really fail, or did we learn and did we grow from it? So it's all about how you take from it. And I wrote this book because I had aspirations of playing in the NFL. I had aspirations of becoming this multi millionaire playing in the NFL, playing football, and it didn't work out like that the way that I wanted, but at the end of the day, I made something out of it. And I use my story, the struggles that I went through in college and afterwards. I wrote it all down. I turned it into something positive, and that's what the title "Fail Forward" comes from. So I hope you guys can learn from it.
A lot of people don't know that you can't learn without failing. That's just what it is in life. Life is about a process of figuring things out and going and adjusting as life goes on.
That is true. That is absolutely true. So when we fail at something, we are learning and we are growing in that process. So we have to go through these pains of life. We have to go through these things. And there is no possible way to achieve true success without failure. Failure is the best teacher because you tried something, it didn't work out the way that you wanted it to. So that doesn't mean give up on it, but it just means you need to alter your plans, alter how you look at it, change the way you see things, then things will begin to change in your life. So you have to keep a open mind, keep a keep have different perspectives on things like that. So when you have an open mind, it gives you a better opportunity to achieve success because there's many different ways to the top. It's all about how you strive and what you are going to do to get to that point. So let me ask you, like, what do you think about it from from in your life? What are some of the trials and tribulations, and how has Be Better Than Yesterday helped you?
Well, in my situation, I wanted to go to the NFL too. We all had dreams of playing professional, but it didn't work out. And in some case, I had like sort of like an identity crisis, like who I really was
Yeah.
and everything.
Hmm.
But you just have to learn, like God got other plans for you. So in a sense of that, I learned that being better than yesterday is like no matter what you're trying to do in life, always put more effort into what you did yesterday. So
That's true.
whether you're playing basketball, you put up 10 shots a day. The day after that, you want to put up 20 shots, stuff like that. So just always keep the mindset that I'm going to be better than how I was yesterday. That's the motto. So
No, you absolutely right, especially when it comes to the identity crisis. There are a lot of young men, even young women out there too, who play sports, and sports, man, it's a cold game as you get older because it's not like little league where you guaranteed to play. The higher you go, high school, you got to earn your spot. College, you got to earn your spot. You got to earn everything that you get in life, and especially with sports. And even after working your butt off, doing the everyday grind, getting up 4 o'clock in the morning, going for a run, doing your push-ups, doing your sit-ups, eating right, every single thing that you have done, and it can be taken from you like that. One play. It take one situation. You could be at the wrong spot at the wrong time, or something just didn't go right that one day in that one moment of time in your life, and now either your career is over with, your season's over with,
dreams over it.
everything. So how do you rebuild from that? How do you cope from that? And sports, it definitely, a lot of people that get out once they are done, they have the identity crisis. Luckily for me, I know I did have it too. I didn't know what I was going to do at first, but the brand, just starting this brand, is what helped me push to continue to move forward. So I didn't want to stay stagnant. But I mean, you and I both know, we know some guys who played the game of football, and it afterwards is just like they just never figured it out, right? Or they're still working to figure it out. And that's what we're all doing. We're just trying to figure life out. Every day we're trying to figure life out. We're trying to figure out, how do I get to the place where I want it to be? Because if it didn't work this way, how else can I do it?
I think what people can take from it, because like we said, identity crisis. A lot of people, like we've been playing sports our whole lives, so that's all that we know. So
That's all you know.
once we get done with it, it's like, what are we gonna do now? But you got to use that discipline and that mindset that you learn and put it in your everyday life.
That is
So
true. That is true. Yeah. And I will say that for sure, football has taught me discipline. It has taught me teamwork. It has really helped me in so many different aspects. And you don't realize it until the game is over for you, until you're doing other stuff. And I love the competitive drive that it has in me. So even when we're we can be playing basketball, we can be playing the game of cards, we can do anything. I don't want to lose. All right, I don't. I hate losing. I'm not gonna lose. And if I lose, we gonna keep playing till I win. We gonna keep going. We gonna keep going, and just everything, man. Like it'll really, it has taught me. It has taught me to push myself, regardless of how tough things are. How bad you may feel, because outside playing in the cold or when it's really really hot. Just everything is mental. You know what I'm saying? The game has taught me that a lot of stuff we go through in life, it's mental, and how we look at it, if how we decide to take it on is solely up to us, and what we put in is what we'll get out. All right.
Hopefully, learn from it and get better.
Yeah, that is true. So we're talking about getting started, right? Like when we talk about getting started today, we're started. This is our first episode of this podcast, so we do hope that you guys enjoy it. We hope that you guys stick with us as this podcast develops and grow. So, Reese, how do you feel about getting started in life? Where even with your career and with the business and everything, like, what does getting started mean to you?
Well, in a lot of people cases, they don't like they have a fear of doing it and failing. Like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, and a lot of people are like egotistic, and they want to like wonder what everybody will think of them. Like, oh, what if I'm doing this? What if I'm doing that? What would this people think? Like, you can't think like that. If you want to do something and God put it on your heart to do it, just do it.
It's
Just
true.
get started. Like, no matter what it is. If you want to go to the gym, a lot of people don't want to go to the gym because they feel like they need partners or motivation or stuff like that, which is cool. But like you just have to get started. Once you get started and do it every day, you're going to get better. Like that's literally how you get better at something, by doing it every single day. So I think for a lot of people getting started in life or just figuring out what they want to do, you just got to do it. Like if it's on your heart, and if you fail at it, get up and try it again or try something else. Like that's literally what life is about.
Yeah, yeah, that's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. They say the hardest step is the first step.
Overcoming that fear.
Overcoming the fear of failure, overcoming, like, we tend to be our biggest enemies. We often think that it's outside sources. It could be this person or that person, or because I don't have X, Y, and Z lined up, that this is what's holding me back. But in all, it's ourselves. We have to get over ourselves. Like, even for me personally, I said I wanted to start a podcast. I said I wanted to do this long before today, but I had that fear of, I don't think nobody gonna listen to it. Like, what am I gonna say that what am I going to say that will make people even want to listen to me? All right, like, even my book, my the clothes, the gear that I offer, like, okay, are people gonna want to buy it? Like, I still have that fear sometimes of, why am I doing this? But if I don't get started, I will never know the outcome. So, everybody out there, if there's something that you want to do, if there's something that you're thinking about doing, take that first step. Right? If it's going back to school, you just go up there. All right, figure out what you need, figure out how to get registered. If it's losing weight, if it's gaining muscle, just go to the gym. You may not know everything, but that's how it is. No one's no one's great at something getting started. No.
You're gonna suck at everything you try like at first, but you get better at it the more you do it. So
Yeah, yeah. I heard this quote from Les Brown. He said, "You don't have to be great to get started, but in order to be great, you have to get started." And like that really set with me, because how can I get to the point of greatness? How can we get to that high level if we never take that first step? If we're still beating ourselves up or telling ourselves about everything we do not have in this moment and why we can't get started, ask yourself, why not me? Right? Why not me? Why can't what is different from me than everybody else, and why do I have to wait? Why do I have to hold myself back? So that's what I think about when it comes to getting started. And so what do you think about just going through everyday life, even still with your business, and still going through everyday life, trying to promote, trying to get yourself out there? How do you feel about that?
there's going to be times where it can get discouraging. I'm not gonna lie, but like you just gotta push through it. Like people don't know how you're gonna know how it feels to like put 100% effort in every day and only get 1% better. But in the long run, that's gonna build up your character. In the long run, that's gonna help you like to where it gets to a point where you're not even gonna worry about the losses you took or worry about the fear of it because you already overcame that step.
That is true.
So a
That is
lot of
true.
people just need to just not figure it out, but like just watch the greats. Like if you playing football, study somebody else's film, how they did what they did to get where they are. Take their experiences, take their losses, take their wins, and apply it to your life.
Mm,
So
yeah. You made a good point when you said study the greats. Study the greats and see if you can get around them. Surround
yes,
yourself
sir.
around the people of where you want to be. Right. Whatever it is that you want to do, find somebody who has walked down the path that you're getting ready to start, and see how can you learn from them. Right. How can you serve them and allow them to serve you? So in order to get something in this life, you have to give something. We can't just always take, but we have to be willing to give. And a lot of those people who are very successful, some of them are looking for people that that want to do what they're doing. They want to give back, but they have to know that you're serious about it. So how do you show that you're serious? Reach out to them. Reach out to them. Let them know like this is something that I genuinely want to do. And you have to put in the work. You have to show that you're dedicated because when they see that you're putting in the work, they may help you. And even if they don't help you, so be it. All right.
There's been times where people like ask for help from the greats and they end up being ahead of them.
Right. That is true. Yeah, they've gone. I've had a situation like that where after my NFL pro day, I was still trying to get on teams and everything like that. I was still trying to find a team. I didn't have an agent. I was playing my own agent. I'm literally Googling teams. I'm going to the club's website, finding emails, finding phone numbers, reaching out to people, and sending emails of my film, trying to talk to somebody. I had the opportunity to speak with Doug Williams. Doug Williams is the first black quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl. So I'm pretty sure many of you guys have talked to, not talked to him. I'm sure many of
Heard
you guys
about
have
it.
heard of him. But to speak to somebody of that stature, I was like, wow, man, I'm like, I'm on the phone with a great. And it was disheartening, his story. Once I told him my story, he pretty much told me to give up, to change, don't try to play football because the path is too hard for me from where I'm coming from. It won't work out. And to hear that from somebody who has faced so much adversity in their life, to hear that from somebody who has overcome all of this adversity and he told me to give up, that at first it made me want to give up, but then also too, a fire was lit in me and I wanted to push myself. And I said, no matter what, I am going to make something out of this. I am going to achieve what I say I wanted to achieve. And those words, it really did stuck with me because, man, somebody that I we idolize people, so we put
Mm-hmm.
them up here and we feel like we're down here, we want to get up here to them. So when someone up here is telling us to give up, telling us it's too hard, I I didn't know what to say at first. I'm like, wow, man, somebody like some who went to a HBCU, who played football, who played in the NFL, who won, who have achieved something that all of us dreamed of as little boys, is, man, to play in the Super Bowl and win, right? To walk around and say I won a Super Bowl. And from there, I said, man, I'm gonna push myself. I'm going to make it happen. And I hope that all of you guys do the same thing. You're gonna have people. You're gonna reach out to people, and you're going to think that they may be the best help possible. They may not be. Regardless if they are or if they're not. At the end of the day, it's up to you. At the end of the day, you have to make it work. You have to find a solution. It's your problem. You have to be creative and solve it. Right? We're looking for direction. We may not get it. We may get it, but it's up to you. So it's solely up to you. So what can I do regardless of everyone else's opinion? What can I do to make myself better? All right. What can I do to make myself better? So what do you think about, like, how is it when it comes to getting started with the business? Like, what else outside of the us being our own, us being in the way of ourselves? Like, what else do you think someone needs to get started?
They just have to have that first that mindset that I can do this. Like you said, why not me? That's one of the ways to get started, and just don't be scared.
Hmm.
Forget what everybody's saying. Forget what the internet got going on. Just find you something and stick to it. Like a lot of people just try to get into different businesses, get into different lanes. No, master this one thing first, and then move on to other things.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah, like a lot of people. That's why a lot of people get so thrown off of everything because they're trying to go so many different ways. It's like, all right, first get this down pat, put in the 10,000 hours so you can be perfect for this. Then you can venture on to other things.
Yeah, definitely. That is definitely, and be willing to learn.
Sure.
Don't come out the gate thinking you know everything, because we don't.
To master a skill, it takes 10,000 hours.
And it also it takes to be willing to listen. You have to be willing to listen to those who have gone down the path that you are trying to go down. Too many of us think that, oh, I know already. I know this is what I need to do. I know. But it's like, we say we know, but do we really know? And then when we get into situations where it's hard, where it's tough, now we're asking for help. And the person who was trying to warn us to keep us from getting into this situation, to tell us, hey, this is what you're trying to do. This is what you should do. This is the best way that I know of. Right? It may be some different ways, but don't just block it out and say, I know what to do already. I'm going to go ahead and do it. This is what I said I was going to do. I'm going to do it. And next thing you know, now you're stuck. Right. And now you're trying to dig yourself out of a hole. And too many of us, all of us have been in that. Well, for myself, I can speak. There are times I felt like I knew some things and it didn't work out the way that I wanted to. And you can look back and say, man, I wish I would have listened at this point in time. I wish I would have listened. And that's just so many different aspects, especially as growing up from, childhood going into an adulthood. You're like, man, I wish I would have listened then. I wish I would have listened. Because that's a whole different ball game, man, and it gets tough. And I think because once we have become grown, we have gotten set in our ways. We feel like we know the world. I know what to do. Just point me in the right direction. I'll take care of everything else. No,
Life is a learning experience.
every day you learn something new. You can learn a lot more by listening than speaking the entire time. Right. So have a silent tongue and an open ear. Right. Because you got to be able to listen and be willing to teach yourself. Right. Be willing to learn, because
Everybody has a phone.
yeah.
So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of information that we're looking to gain, you can literally look it up on Google. Like it's the information is out there.
It is.
You have the word at the palm of your hands. All you need to do is just put it in action and get started.
That is
That's all you
absolutely
need.
right. You have to put in that action. You have to be willing to learn, because how is it that how is it that we find reasons to blame somebody else for our shortcomings?
You can't blame your parents. You can't blame your environment. You can't blame your teachers. None of that. You got to put it all on yourself.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's your life.
Because so many of us like, oh well, if my mom and dad would have taught me how to do that, or if my mom and dad would have taught me how to manage money better, then I wouldn't be in this situation. Or if we would have learned this, why didn't we learn this in school? Okay, you didn't learn it in school. It would have been beneficial to learn it then, but if you know about it now, why haven't you taken the time to study up on it, to read?
Well, the best way to learn about money is to lose it all. Once you
Yeah.
lose all your money, they'll teach you everything you know how to manage it, where to budget, where this money gonna go every month, where this money gonna go every month.
Hmm. They always say a fool and his money shall soon depart, because if you and that goes back to listening. Learning and listening. If you don't, if you're not willing to listen, you can lose. You can lose everything in a heartbeat. All right. So keep that open mind and be willing to learn and go to the library and buy some books on what you're trying to do. Right. If you say you want, let's say you want to get into real estate, how many books have you read regarding this?
How much information have you looked up on real estate?
On your right on your own. Do not just wait for someone to give you the answers to life because you will seriously get the short end of the stick on that. Some people will give you some of the answers. They'll tell you some things in from a broad perspective, but ultimately, if you don't dive deep into it on your own, you won't know everything that it is that you should be knowing. And that goes back to getting started. All right. So while you're getting started, while you're taking those first steps, be learning, be reading, be listening, be doing everything that you need to do so you can be as successful as possible as you want to be. Right? Find a mentor. Find a mentor.
Try to find like a mentor.
Mm-hmm. I know. We had a mentor, Andre Wright. Shout out to Andre Wright, man.
Right.
He was our mentor from high school all the way up. He's even still now. We still talk to him. You know, he's somebody that we listen to, somebody that we seek advice from. But our parents, your parents can be your best mentors sometimes too, because they watch you grow up. They know your parents know how you are, right? They know, some things that you may need to work on. They know some things that you may be good at, but you got to be willing. You got to be willing to listen, right? We got to be willing to accept criticism.
That's a big thing. Like you can't get mad like at everything. Like what is it called? Constructive
Constructive
criticism.
criticism, yeah.
Like you can't get mad at everything somebody trying to tell you because they're trying to coach you up on it. Like, hey, you're doing this wrong. You need to do it this way. And if you're like, oh no, I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna do it my way, and they're literally telling you that that's not gonna work. Just take an ear and listen. Sometimes too many people be big headed with that.
That is true. That constructive criticism is a hard thing. So with that, don't wear your heart on your sleeve,
Yeah.
right? Learn to take your emotions out of it and understand if a person is telling you something that you don't like, it may be something that you need to hear. You know, but you also to that point you have to have discernment of the difference between criticism and just flat out negativity. If someone is to telling you give up, you cannot do it, that's not criticism. That's just them being negative. Yeah. That is them that's them taking the limitations that they had on themselves and they're putting it on you. But if someone is saying, hey, this is what you're doing, I know you can do it better. And the reason why I see you have not gotten, I see you have not achieved the level of potential I know you have because you're slacking off. You're not putting in all the effort that I know you can put in. That's criticism. Someone telling you like you can do better, but it's in you and you have to want to do it. So even though you may feel, man, I'm giving it my all, I'm doing everything. Nah, it's always room to grow. Right. We've all been yelled at by a coach or we've been yelled at by our parents or something or somebody that loves you. If someone is getting on you about doing better, it's because they love you, right? And that comes in your circle of friends, the people who you hang around, the people who you look up to, and that goes back to the point of surround yourself around the people who have achieved the things that you want.
Don't be around no yes man or crash out people. Like be around people that'll hold you accountable for your actions. That tell you like, hey, you tweaking right now. You need to calm down. You need to go a different route. Because a lot of people will get into stuff and they think that's what they want in life, and then something happened, and now they switch it up, and now they still trying to do it. And it's like, nah, you need to be around people that will tell you. If don't nobody tell you nothing, they don't love you.
Yeah, that's true.
When nobody tell you nothing, they want to see you crash out. They really don't care what you do. But somebody that cares, they want to be on you.
Yeah, and that's a true friend. That's somebody that's holding you accountable. That's a good friend. That's somebody that you're going to need in your circle. They'll tell you, hey man, you falling off. Like
Yeah.
you were here, but you not doing what you need to be doing. And I'm gonna tell you every single day. I'm gonna tell you, stop doing this, stop doing that. Like the people that's telling you, hey man, forget about it, don't worry about it. Let's who cares? Like it's not important. It's not gonna work out anyway. So why are you wasting your time? That ain't somebody you want to be around. You know, and get rid of the anchors in your life. Right. We all talk about, somebody holding it down and things, but find somebody that's gonna elevate you. All right. Elevate yourself first.
First.
Always elevate yourself. Give yourself that pep talk every morning. Give yourself the inspiration that you need. Don't look for outside people. Give yourself that inspiration. Tell yourself, I can do it every single day. Whatever it is, tell yourself, I can do it. I can do it. Why not me? Why not me? I deserve happiness. I deserve peace. I deserve to be successful. Whatever you see success is, whatever your vision of a perfect life, you deserve it.
I
You know.
think I think going back to the topic of getting started, like you said, a lot of people need to just set goals for themselves, like set monthly goals, weekly goals, and yearly goals. Because even if you don't accomplish the goals that you set, at least you set the bar for it. At least you got to half of those goals, and you probably wouldn't have got there if you didn't set those goals.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think I think that's big.
Mm.
I think that's big.
Yeah. You know what? Yes, that is yes. Because if you if you write out a plan and you look at it every day, it gives you your purpose. It gives you
Gives you
reason,
something to grind for.
something to do. You wake up every single day knowing this is what I want to do. This is what I said I'm gonna do. I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Having that purpose in life is what drives everyone. Why do you wake up in the morning? And when you get up, what is it that you want to do? So we are we're in March now. We're in the middle of March, going to almost towards the end. So if you haven't gotten goals, if you haven't written out your goals, start. Don't wait till tomorrow.
Don't
Sit
wait till
down.
January. Don't wait till December 29th. No. A lot of
Yeah.
people do yearly goals and want to be in the gym, hogging up the gym all in January. No.
Yes, yes. And with that being said, if you are trying to get into the gym, I am a personal trainer. We are located in Park Forest, Illinois. We love to have you guys come into the gym, get a session in. All right, I'm gonna push you to your limits. And I'm that trainer. I like to work out with you, so you have a workout partner. You don't just have someone telling you what to do. I'm gonna be down on the floor sweating with you, getting it in. And you can get that information on the website. Again, the name of that website is called www.icanbbty.com. Again, that's www.icanbbty.com. And we also have workout gear, so no excuses. All right.
We got track suits, we got the jumpsuits, we
Suit.
got hats,
Got hats,
we
got
got
books.
leggings for women, we got training bra for women. Like we have it all.
Everything. We got the crew neck, so you guys jump on the train. Be better than yesterday. All right. This is something for everyone. It's not just for
Not just
athletes.
athletes, but
It's
just
every
everybody.
everyday people, right? But yes, that purpose. You can tell the difference between a purpose-driven person and someone who's just going through the motions, right?
As a man, if you're not chasing your purpose, you're gonna be chasing like your distractions and stuff like that. That's literally like the last thing that you wanna try to do.
Yeah, for sure. Drive having your purpose is what's going to having a purpose is what's going to keep you out of trouble.
Seriously.
It's going to keep you out of trouble. It's going to keep you in the right mindset. It's going to keep you around the right people because if you don't have anything set in concrete for yourself, you don't have your moral set, if you don't have your mindset of this is who I am and this is where I want to be, then you're easily going to be swayed by anything that comes your way. All right. And the distractions are they come left and right. And when you are more purpose driven, it seems like the distractions are gonna come even more because they're trying to knock you off your game. They're trying to knock you off your
God
game.
testing you.
It is, man. God gonna test you in so many ways. Life is gonna test you in so many ways. When you say you want something, life will have a way of testing you to see if that's what if how bad do you really want it, right?
It all boils down to.
How bad do you really want it, and what are you willing to do to get to it? I'm not saying do nothing crazy, like go out and hurt somebody or do nothing super crazy, like try to sell your soul or anything. I'm saying like, are you willing to sacrifice who you are now so you can be who you want to be tomorrow? Right, and that comes with time. Time is the most important commodity that we all have. You can't buy it, and you gain back. Can't get it back. So once it's gone, it's gone. And you think about it, like you said, this our phone can be our greatest asset, or it can be our greatest liability. Greatest distraction. When we talk about social media, when we talk about just mainly social media, that can absorb so much of our time without us even knowing. Like even this podcast, this is a podcast you guys you could be listening to while doing something productive or driving, just listening to it while driving home. But as long as you're doing something.
So one of the things I like to do in my daily routine is like when I wake up, I try not to get on social media until like probably 11 or noon because I don't. I look at how you look at social media, everybody flashing cars, flashing money. Woo, woo. Like, I don't want to wake up with anxiety or comparison to feel like I'm myself not doing nothing. Like
Yeah,
comparison is a thief of joy.
it
So
is.
if you looking at what everybody got going on Instagram, stuff like that, you compare your life to them, then you've already lost.
Yeah, yeah. Don't get in that habit of comparing yourself to everybody else. All right. Social media is only designed to show the highlights of our life.
Losses.
All right. So if I'm going on vacation, yeah, I'm gonna post that. Yeah, I'm in the Bahamas. I'm chilling, my feet up in the sand. I'm sipping a drink. You right? Whatever you did, you got it. You there? Cool. All right, celebrate them, but don't think to yourself, man, this person is here. This is where I want to be. What am I doing with my life? And how come I'm not there? And if you're asking yourself that question, that goes back to our topic of today. Did you get started?
What are you trying to do to get to that point?
Right. What have you done? And did you get started? If you say this is where I want to be, write out a plan. Right. It may not be the best plan. We don't know how whatever it is that you want to do. And that's why you have to talk to people who is in the field of where they have achieved the level of success that you want. Reach out to them, try to get some type of advice, pick people's brains, learn from them, be willing to listen. Everything we're saying, it all wraps into one. Right. So be willing to listen. And now the people that are up here and if you feel like you're here, don't compare yourself. Tell yourself eventually I will be at this level one day. Soon it will come, but I have to be willing to put in the work. Right? Too many of us we can get wrapped up in like, man, this athlete is cold, man. He making catches like this. He's doing this. And when I see people, when I look at people do something like really amazing, and I'm like, wow, man, that is really really cool. I think about how many times did you fail at attempting this before you got to this level? Like this is really cool that you can do this, but like, what did it look like in the dark when nobody was looking? How many hours did you put in to get to this point? So that's something that I think of because it is a lot. It takes a lot to do it. It takes a lot of and have faith. All right.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. You gotta have faith in yourself. You gotta have faith in God. Pray. Whatever you believe in, pray. Ask God to give it to you. My wife, she gave me a chore. Well, not a chore. She gave me a task. She said, "Hey, find your favorite scripture." And I thought about it. I was like, yeah, okay. And I did, and it was Matthew 7:7. Right. It says, "Ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, knock and the door shall be opened upon to you." Right. And that's life. You gotta ask God, tell God what it is that you want. And be wholehearted in yourself. Be honest with yourself. What it is, what do you want? What do you want in life? What do you want to do? Who do you want to be? Where do you want to be? And like where do you want to be? Work towards it. And just put in the work.
You said find that purpose. Like coming from my environment, one of the reasons like why me and you like, well, I know for myself that I never, got involved in, too much of the streets and stuff like that is because I wanted to go to the NFL. Like
Mm-hmm.
I knew me being, outside, doing what everybody else doing ain't gonna be there.
That is true.
So
That is
once
true.
you find your purpose, just say no to everything that doesn't align with what you're trying to do.
Yeah, yeah. Find that purpose. So a purpose, and like I said, there is. We know a purpose-driven person versus someone who's just going through the everyday motions of life, right? And to people of our age group, millennials, man, we have got to stop comparing ourselves
Yeah, that's bad.
of every like. I feel like
That's bad.
that's definitely what millennials how we achieve success is what we have in the time frame of how long we've been on this earth, right? Because a lot of us will say my biggest flex is buying a house and a car and I'm only 22, right? Or buying doing all this and I'm this young. And then we have those who, man, I'm getting ready to turn 30 and I don't even have this in my name. Or I'm getting ready to do turn this old and this person's younger than me and they have all this. And so it goes back to social media. Don't get caught up onto that. Right? Don't get caught up into that pitfall of comparing everybody. You on social media, make it a tool for you to be successful. Right?
Really honest, if we being honest, you should if you're starting a business or have something you're trying to promote, that's strictly what you should be using social media for. Like
Yeah.
you shouldn't be using social media to trying to like find. I mean, you can if you want to, but you shouldn't be using social media to like try to find women, trying to find the next party. Woo woo. Like you should use social. You should really pay for the partnership. That way you can get paid to post from Instagram, and that they'll sponsor you and put your stuff out there more. Like you'll get more views. You'll get more people trying to look at your profile and invest in what you got going on.
You said that you said that keyword invest. What are you willing to invest in yourself? How much are you worth to you? We ask ours. We when we think about investing in ourselves, we sometimes tend to think we put a price tag on it. If we're comparing if we're going to talk about the things that we have purchased, like, oh, okay, I just bought this jacket. This jacket is like $2,000. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, hey, if you got the money to buy it, hey, by all means.
Ooh,
Yeah.
you're buying a liability, like something that's gonna go down in value.
Yeah.
Buy something of asset that's gonna make you more money.
That's going to push you and put you into a better spot, put you in a better spot to even reach back and help other people too.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, so ask yourself, how much are what's the price tag on your own life? Right? How much are you worth to you? And as a personal trainer, I come across a lot of people that say, well, though that costs way too much to for a personal training session. Okay, well let's start doing the math. How much do you spend when you go out to eat? How much do you spend on the nice clothes that you have? How much do you spend on the car that you have, on gas to maintain that car? Right? When there's something wrong with your car, you're going to take it to the shop for the money in because you want to keep the upkeep on it, right? So why not do the same thing for your own body, for your own life? Ask yourself, if I don't have the body that I say that I want, what am I willing to invest to get it? Right? Am I going to go get a book on nutrition? Am I going to go out and get me a personal trainer? Or am I going to go buy me a gym membership? And when I say a gym membership, you buy it and utilize it. Okay, don't just get the membership and then you go to the gym at the beginning of the month and then they don't see you again until
the rest of the year.
in the year, right?
That's part of getting started though. Like buying a gym membership is a part of getting started, but you actually have to go.
Yes, you have to go get
Don't be
in
going
there,
there taking up all the space. Not doing that.
or flexing and just taking pictures in the
Yeah, just
gym
go
all
to the gym,
day.
take pictures, and leave. Like, come on, bro.
make 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 your time be efficient. Okay, efficiency is key. So it doesn't matter how long you spend doing something, as long as you are being efficient with it. So if I only had 20 minutes left in the day to work on my business, I'm doing something. I make it efficient. Don't say, okay, yeah, man, I've been working on business all day, but what are you really actually doing? Right? Like what were you doing? How did you what work did you put in and how did it further along you to where you wanted to be?
I think like with a lot of people today, because most people have 9 to 5s, so they go to work and get off and just don't do anything else for themselves.
Yeah.
Like yeah, 9 to 5 is how you make your money, but 6 to 10 should be how you're using your time to invest in yourself. Like how you should be spending your time putting in work.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people just go home, get lazy, and go to sleep, which is cool. I understand that, but like, if you get caught into that rat hole, you're gonna be doing that forever.
The rat race, man.
You're gonna be doing that forever.
The rat race is real. Okay. Like as a kid, I didn't think much of it, but as an adult, it is very, very real. It is very easy to get sucked up into. Okay. And it's very hard to get out. I'm still trying to get out of it now. All right. And this is why we're getting started. We're doing these things because we want to live a life of freedom. All right. We want to just solely focus on our business. And a lot of us have to be willing to work for someone else until we get to the point to where we can be on our own and be fully financially independent. So
Every
yeah,
boss just wants to work.
yep. You in order to be a master, you have to be an apprentice first. So you have to be willing to learn up under somebody. You have to be willing to listen. You have to be willing. You have to be dedicated, doing the small things that you may not want to do. Other people are not going to tell you to do it, but you know you need to do it. So that's how you become the master, right? And just that whole thing about the 9 to 5. If you got a 9 to 5, good for you. All right, whatever you doing, work. Make sure you put in your work. At the when you get home from work, now utilize that time for you. Put in the work for your business. If you know what you want, if you are purpose driven, you gonna say, okay, when I get off, this is what I'm gonna do. When I get home, this is what I'm gonna do. All right. And if you're really that purpose driven, even while you at work, if you got some spare time at work, hey, let me do this. This book that I wrote it while at work. I wrote it while I was at home. I mean, I kept it with me. I kept it. I had it on my phone. I wrote a whole chapter while just it seemed like I'm texting on my phone. No, I'm writing the book. I'm using all my resources, everything that I have to get to where I wanted to be. And I said I wanted to write a book. I wrote it. And we do have a second book getting ready to come out. I'm working to generate the money to publish the next one. Right. So again, purpose driven, man.
All right, so let's take a step back. We want to do like an introduction to you, to us.
Okay.
So start out by telling us, where you play football at, how your life is, how your life is. I think everybody needs to hear the testimony.
They do. I don't think I've ever actually said my story on camera, but so my story first and foremost, I tell you what I wanted and how life went. First and foremost, when I was a kid, I said I was gonna grow up. I said I was gonna be 6'2". I said I was gonna be. I said I was gonna be 6'2". I said I was. I said I was gonna be 250 pounds. I said I was gonna be a Division 1 linebacker. I said I was going to go play. I said I was going to go play at Michigan State University. I said I was going to have a full ride scholarship. I said I was going to be drafted in the NFL draft, and I was going to make it. And life was going to be easy. I said I had it all planned out, smooth sailing. I was going to get my degree in political science. And from there, I was like, I'm going to have my bachelor's degree and I'm going to play football. Did that happen? No. That didn't happen. Not even in the slightest bit. So I look back on it and laugh. So
I know, but where did you play football?
so I played in high school. I started off at Maurice High School. I played at Maurice High School. And then after Maris, I got into some trouble. Right, I got into some trouble at Maris. All right, so I had to leave. All right, I had to leave. From there, I went to Rich Central High School. That was second semester of freshman year. Yeah, second semester of freshman year. Then I transferred to St. Francis de Sales High School. That's where we met.
Yeah, that's where I met you,
What was that? 2000,
Like
2010?
2009, 2010.
Yeah, long time, man. So, played my sophomore year of high school football at St. Francis de Sales, and we had a horrible season. All right, we won one game or two,
No, we won three.
three. Okay, okay.
Three
So,
and six.
yeah, so we won three games. One of the worst football seasons ever, but man, we had a lot of fun.
We had fun,
I'll
that's for
tell you that
sure.
much. Like though I've had some great memories with all those guys on that team. So, um,
One of the
it
reasons
was a
why we
lot.
were so weak is because they had everybody playing varsity. So we
It
were
was
freshmen and
only
sophomores playing against
yeah.
17, 18 year olds. That wasn't.
We
We were
just
still
wasn't
dogging
good.
them, but you know,
We just wasn't
yeah.
good. So after St. Francis, I was not happy at that school, so I left, and then I went back to Red Central. So life comes in a full circle, right? So went back to Red Central High School. That's where I played my junior year and senior year. Junior year was cool. I played middle linebacker. I didn't get a lot of playing time. I got some. And then senior year, hey, I was a captain. I started. All right, worked my way up, got a starting position, things like that. So finished out senior year. From there, I went to Western Illinois University, WIU. All right, I was talking to the coach. He told me I had the opportunity to come down, walk on. Say, hey, this I always wanted to go D1. I had that mindset. I'm gonna go D1. Well, it was D1 double A, but it's neither here
Still
nor
D
there.
one.
Yeah. Well, I went down there. By the time I got down there, the coach was like, the roster's full. That coach is no longer here. Yeah, we're not going to take you. Now I'm just a regular schmegular student. Right? I'm just a regular student. It sucked, but I stayed in shape. I worked out. I said I wanted to play football. I'm gonna do what I got to do. I finished at Western. I did great academically. Was on the dean's list both semesters. Was on the with the honor roll. I became a what was what an honor society, the National Academic Society of Honor, something like that. Yeah, so I forgot the name of it. It's a long title, but got into different programs. I was the chairman of the uh some board. I forgot the name of it. I can't remember. It's on my resume. I don't remember, man. I did it. I've accomplished a lot, but I so after Western, that is where life got really hard. Right after Western, I was still looking around for different colleges to play. I was sending my high school film out, trying to talk to different schools, and shortly after, I found Midwest Prep Academy, Midwest Preparatory Academy. So went to Midwest Prep. This is like for guys who didn't go JUCO, they just got out of high school, don't have enough film. I went there, played there. It was tough because I felt like I'm I don't know, like it just felt weird not being at an actual university playing, not being at an actual organized college, but
But
you know,
we played college.
yeah, we played colleges. It was different. It was a
Yeah,
different
yeah. I
feel
will say
because
that. I will say
we went to Midwest Prep, but we also for like education
that. I
purposes,
was in
we
college.
was going to actual junior college. So it was going to Prairie State, taking classes at Prairie State, and I was playing football with Midwest Prep. So Midwest Prep, I had an injury that it was like it got bad. I dislocated my shoulder. I pretty much had to miss most of the season. Came back towards the end of the season. Didn't get a lot of film. Didn't get to uh didn't get as much. I didn't get to play as much because of that injury. So after that, I found Concordia University of Chicago. Um, that's where I met my current wife. Right, we met at Concordia 2015. Been together since. My coach from Concordia, man, Concordia was different. It's a small school. When I first got on campus, I was the third string running back. It was two other running backs in front of me. I had to earn my spot. Definitely understood that much. Our first game of the season, our starting two running backs got hurt. So I finished out the game, the first game. We end up I think yeah, we ended up winning that game. Yeah, we ended up winning. And coach talked to me, hey, you did great. We're gonna you're the guy now, right? So the following week, that next week, game two of the season, we went to Kalamazoo, Michigan, and coach tells me at the beginning of the game, hey, all right, you're the guy. All right, we putting the game on your back. We know you got it in you. You can play. You're gonna be toting the rock today. Cool. Second play of the game. The second play of the game. I got hurt. I had a high ankle sprain. Second play of the game, I got hurt. They said, yeah, you're going to be out for 10 weeks at minimum. I'm like, that's practically the whole season. Man, I had to get carried off the field, and it was so bad because my girlfriend at the time, and she's my wife now, but she was like, I was looking at the stats online, and I just stopped seeing your name, and I was wondering what happened. I came back off that bus with them crutches. I said, "Oh my god!" It's like life just keeps beating on me. So, man, I didn't give up. I didn't give up. I said I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna keep pushing. I managed to come back the two games, last two games of the season. I clearly wasn't a starter anymore. I got a little bit of playing time, and at the end of the season, I was like, oh my god, I don't know. But I wasn't happy at that school. Right, it was a lot of just from like academic purposes and everything like that. It was such a religious school. Just the curriculum and everything, in the football program, I just wasn't happy. So I said I was going to transfer out. All right, my coach pretty much told me at the end of the season, said, "Don't try to go to the NFL." Right? He told me, "Don't try to go. Don't try to go to the NFL." It was like some of us have it, some of us don't. It's just not. You don't have it. All right. And from there, they lit another fire. That relit the fire. I know I can do this. I know I can. I'm gonna push for it. I'm gonna keep going. So after I left, after Concordia, I'm looking for different schools to transfer to. I'm looking for it. I found a school, Kennesaw State University, down in Kennesaw, Georgia. It was a beautiful school. I loved it. I wish I would have went there. I would love to send my kids there if they choose to. But they told me, the football team, we're stacked with the roster and everything like that. It was like coach was up front, and I appreciate it. He was like, "There's no point of you coming here to try to play." He was like, "Cause we're loaded." It was like you're not, you won't see the field, not because you're not good, but just because we have more than enough people. All right, so I was like, okay. So after that, I found Southern University down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Southern University A&M College, HBCU. So now I'm going down to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm like, okay, cool, man. I'm gonna experience life in the South. Let's see how it is. And boy, that was hard. That was hard for me. It was a culture shock. It was different. Got the summer I was down there. It was different because coming from the north, going down south to play football, it was like this perspective of guys from the north, especially from the Chicagoland area. They just think that you're a gangbanger just trying to go down there. And now you're trying to, yeah, show that that's not who you are, yada yada, all that stuff. So being down there, that is where my love for football was truly tested. It was tested because I had to not only fight through just the rigorous training, but just the backlash that I caught from coaches and just being down there. Like not too many people was messing with me, and that was cool. I'm down there for a purpose. I said I'm gonna come here, attend the pro day, play, and from there I work my way into the draft. So my I was a walk on, right? I was a walk on. This is my junior year. I end up, staying through, making it through the walk on process because they cut walk ons like crazy. If you're a minute late, you cut. If you're not producing, if they deem that you're not an asset to the team, they're gonna cut you. So I made it through the summer. My junior year, I was told that I could not play. I couldn't do anything simply because I had to sit out due to what they call academic residence. So from there, with academic residence, my junior year was gone. So that was my junior year of football gone, right? But I said I was gonna stick through it, fight through it. Going into my senior year, Uh, I worked hard. I went down for the summer. Yeah, went down for the summer. Coach told me, hey, you worked hard enough. You've earned a spot. We're gonna let you suit up for the first game. Go home. I'm sorry, not go home. Go back to your dorm, get your stuff. All right. So they told me this literally the week of game one. So I'm like, wow, I'm finally getting my shot to play Division 1 football, to play in front of a big crowd. I'm like, man, this is amazing. I'm walking back to my dorm, bro. It's not even 30 minutes went by. The coach calls me. He calls my phone, and he has this like sad tone in his voice, and it hurt him. It hurt him. It hurt him because he was like, I know how hard you put in the work. So he was like, hey, listen, the university is going through your paperwork because they have to make sure everyone's eligible to play. And they went through your paperwork and they said, you're not eligible. I'm thinking in my head, how am I not eligible? I've been here a year and a half now. What? Like I'm all junior year and plus the summer that I went prior to. So I'm like, how am I not eligible? They was like, I don't know. I had a 3.9 GPA there, so it wasn't because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do in the classroom. It just said my credits didn't fully transfer over from the other university. So now I'm livid. I'm like, if it ain't one thing, it's another. Go to so now I'm talking to people I never even heard of, head academic provost or something like that. And I'm trying to figure out, hey, what it is I need to do to become eligible, how can I play and this and that. Went through all that. It took about what, a month to figure all this stuff out. So we got it figured out and it came down to it. They told me that because I've transferred in with so many credits that I have the ratio would always increase. So they told me I needed 74 credits to transfer. They said you have 73. I had extra classes on my transcripts, but they said every extra class that you transfer over, it will raise the bar one more. So this is where you need to be. You'll always be one short. So it never made sense to me, even to this very day. It never made sense. At this point now, I'm angry. I'm bitter. I'm like, bro. So you mean to tell me my college football, my college career is over with? And the provost told me, yeah. She was like, unfortunately, it kills me to say this, but yes, it was like you're not eligible to play. So now my senior year, I could not play. I got the coach let me still practice with the team. I practiced with the team. I said I was gonna stick around because at the end of the day, I'm like going to the NFL Pro Day. That's the number one goal. So I made it through that. I just practiced. I won awards for being on the practice, scout team, whatever. But hey, I did what I could do. So the pro day comes along. Pro day, man, I said this was the time. I'm like, I've been waiting on this for years. It finally shows up. I'm like, everything that I've been through, this will make it all worth it, right? And that's why I stuck around because I knew the end goal. I knew where I wanted to go. I knew what it was going to happen. So got to that point. Pro Day killed it. All right, I was talking to different teams. I talked to the Oakland Raiders. I talked to the San Diego Chargers. I talked to the Green Bay Packers. I talked to the Atlanta Falcons, and I talked to the Jets. I had to explain my story. That was awkward, but I think what killed me, what really hurt me, was it was a lot of things that was just outside of my control. So I talked to the scout from the San Diego Chargers, and he told me, he said, "Hey man, you killed it out there. You did great. You're fast, you look good, you run hard." They said we would sign you, but the reason why we cannot sign you is because we don't have any film to go off of, and it was like game film. I'll say that much. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, y'all, you don't understand this. I'm like, please just give me one shot, please, man. Just, I'm right here. Like, if I did good, just let me on. But it was like, we can't do it. So from there, I still didn't give up. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna keep talking. I'm gonna keep, trying to get my name out there. I talked to the running back coach from the Green Bay Packers, and he was honest with everything, and he pretty much told me, he said, "Hey man, listen, I'm looking at your film because at this point in time, this one was playing semi-pro. So now we're just playing. I'm just playing because I miss football, right? I just wanted to play football. Got me some film through semi-pro, and I was using that to send to NFL teams. Sent it. It was send it out, and from there, team say it looks good. But when I was talking to the running back coach from the Packers, he told me that hey, your film looks good. You run hard. You're a good looking running back, but you don't fit the size profile that we're looking for. Right? You don't fit the size profile. You're not tall enough for where we want to be. And this is when they brought in AJ Dillon. So that's the last running back. He was like, we just signed AJ Dillon. That's our guy now, and we're going with him. And it hurt, but again, it's things it's outside of my control. So what can I do about it? And from there, I said I'm just gonna keep playing. I was trying to play arena football, trying to end up signing to a arena football team. Okay, so now after all this work, I signed to an arena football team, but also I'm thinking, okay, football is not guaranteed. Like it's what am I gonna do? So I'm also trying to figure out what else am I gonna do with my life? What else am I gonna do? Right? And I end up while in the meantime of trying to play, I was working playing semi pro. I was working at a law firm because at least I graduated. Right, I still graduated. I got my degree. Got my bachelor's degree because that's what's important. And working at this law firm, and I'm like, man, I really miss football, everything. And eventually, that's signed to a arena football team, and I'm like, man, all these years, I'm finally playing professional football. I'm finally playing professional football. It may not be in the NFL, it's not in the CFL, but hey, still professional football. I'm happy. From there, I drove. The team was in Fort Wayne, Indiana. It was called the NGL National Gridiron League. You guys can look this up one too. So the league folded. The league folded within like a week and a half of us supposed to be getting started. So after I signed, we drove to camp was in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I drove all the way to Fort Wayne, Indiana, 3 hour drive. They got to the hotel where we are supposed to check in at. Hotel said, "Oh, okay, yeah, you with the National Gridiron League. This is your room. Here's your room key." I gave them my name. They had all that stuff. I was like, "Wow, man, things are finally working out." I'm like, oh my God, things are finally. I'm like, thank God. I'm like, man, I'm like, God, it's been a long road, but hey, we doing it. After being in that room for 20 minutes, I get a knock on the door. Boom, boom, boom. Me and my roommate like, who is this? Guy, the hotel staff and security is at the door. They're like, hey, so the owner of the league didn't fully pay for your room, so we need all of you guys to be out within like 20 minutes. I'm like, oh my God. I just threw the remote. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this I can't win for lose, man. So now we gather all our stuff. I didn't even finish unpacking yet. Gather all our stuff, go down to the lobby. They tell us, yeah, the owner didn't fully pay for the rooms, everything like that. It was a whole mess for like 2 days. We're trying to figure this out. And come to find out, they said the owners embezzled most of the money from the league, and the league folded. And from there, I said, you know what? I love the game of football, but it is taking me down some dark roads. I'm like, I have my business be better than yesterday. This is what I'm gonna focus on, and that's how we're here today. That's my story, man. What about you? You want to tell your story or you want to wait for another day?
I'll tell a short story.
Go ahead.
So, started off playing on Dalton Bears. Shout out Dalton Bears, don't stop. From Dalton Bears to high school, I went to St. Francis freshman, sophomore year. That's how I met you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Hated the school, hated the football program.
Yeah.
Went to transfer to Rick Central High School. Um, Started my senior year corner, got hurt. That was pretty much the end of that. Took a year off from playing football. I was just working out and going to school. Then I went to Midwest Prep with him, 2014. Yeah,
Yep.
2014.
Yeah, it was 2014.
Uh, from there, I was still going to school. Got an academic scholarship to St. Xavier University in Chicago. Ended up going there, playing football for 3 years, 3 years, no, two. And from there I just couldn't stay healthy. I got hurt the very first day of
Hmm.
practice. Literally. So every year, same accident. Got hurt, fractured both of my ankles, almost tore my MCL. Like it was rough.
Yeah.
So then from there, played semi-pro. That wasn't for the love of the game of football,
Horrible.
but but then he started the BBTY business, and I jumped on board. So that was pretty much my story.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, well, you definitely we both. I'll say we both we both had. This is where our we had our plan. I think I had another plan.
Yeah,
You
I wanted
know,
to do this, and I was
because what was your dream school?
Oregon. I wanted to go to Oregon.
Yeah, you
I
wanted to go to
wanted to
Oregon.
go
You wanted to go to
Maybe
Oregon.
state of Washington.
I wanted to go to Michigan State, man. That was
Yeah,
a whole
that was my
different.
dream school, boy.
But yeah, all in all, to everyone out there, man, this podcast, we hope that you guys enjoyed this, and at the end of the day, remember to just get started. Right, we're gonna go through a lot in life. You're gonna have a lot of things that's outside of your control. You'll have some things that's inside your control. Things that are in your control, that's the only thing you can focus on. Focus on that attitude, effort, and just focus on those two things. We can control how we react to situations. We can control, what's going on in this situation. So whatever it is, it may not be, the best, but we can control our attitude towards it. We can control the effort that we put in. Everything else, it may happen the way you want it. It may not. But whatever it is, you got to find a way, right? You
Yes,
got to
sir.
find a way. Uh, so I want to end the podcast with a quote from the book. All right. So again, the title of the book is called "Fail Forward." You can get that on our website www.icanbbty.com. Again, that is www.icanbbty.com. A link to the website will be in the description below. So I want to end the podcast with a quote from chapter 1 of the book. And the quote says, "Your dreams can be as big and vast as the big blue sky, or they can be as small as a mustard seed. It all depends on where you set your limits." So let that sink. You guys think about that, and if you guys have any comments or anything what you guys enjoyed about the podcast, or any suggestions,
Which I think we should talk about more.
let us know. Let us know, and we look forward to having guests onto the show. We look forward to hearing you guys' feedback and have you guys interact with us and everything. So for tuning out, David Kennerson,
Maurice said.
and you guys go out tomorrow and be better than yesterday.